Welcome, my friends. Those of you who are getting ready for the PMP exam, this is a big run-up. My buddy Prashant is getting ready to slay the beast, and we are just going to journey mentally through what is needed for the exam. When I have a big exam coming up, I like distilling everything down to as few points as possible. And the few points that I want you to focus on today are people, process, business. And then we're going to break those down a bit at a time. So let me help you distill people down at a high level. People is all about leadership, communication, and interpersonal skills. That's really what it is. When you distill it, it's leadership, understanding what leadership is, understanding how to effectively communicate, and understanding interpersonal skills. Now, when you take a look at leadership, it's important that you see leadership as influence, gentle influence, not carrot and stick. So you know about Theory X. Theory X, managers are an impediment to the employee's morale. Any of the options on the exam that suggest a Theory X approach is not the best way to go. You also understand what motivates people. You know McClellan's theory. People are generally motivated by the need for power, or they want this association with others, right? They want to accomplish stuff. So when you look at the questions, you need to understand not everyone is motivated by the same thing, especially money. And when you have the ability to inspire, motivate, and reward, think about the team instead of just one person. Now, if you get a question that talks about inspiring or motivating one person, you need to. We have a friend of ours, Gabriel, who is now PMP. Congrats to you, Gabriel. We also have some other people on the channel who have been watching and are now PMPs. All of you who wrote in and shared your insights, thank you so very much. Some of you shared that the exam in recent times has been more heavy. Servant leadership is mostly about being a servant to the team, serving them, meeting them at the point of their need. A lot of the questions will be based on this. Always look for the options that promote the self-awareness of the team, how they are feeling mentally. You, as the person taking the exam, need to help them create a project charter. You might actually need to help them fill in a change request. It's okay. Don't choose the option that says, tell the customer to go fill out the change request. If there's an option that says, assist the customer in filling out the change request, that's the better option, okay? Fairness is big. Treat others fairly. Prashant is such a good employee. I'm glad he's on my team. A job comes up for Prashant to apply to. Maybe he could move to a different department and earn more money. But you like his work. You don't want him to leave. So you circumvent the information from Prashant, and he never knew the job existed. No, that is unethical. If you're given a question that says, what should you do in those situations? Of course, you should let him have exposure to that information. So there are going to be questions on fairness. Some of them are going to be direct and others not as direct. To have that hat on at all times. Am I in a low frequency of delivery and low degree of change? Or am I in a high frequency of delivery and a high degree of change? Those are generally the ones they go for the most. But if you get a question that says, you're on a project and you have a low frequency of delivery and a high degree of change, then you know it's going to be iterative, because iterative only delivers one time. And you could also get the question, you're on a project, you have a high frequency of delivery, but a low degree of change. They're really telling you this is incremental, because incremental, we do the work once. We don't. It talks about the enthusiastic beginner. Let's write that down. Enthusiastic. Enthusiastic beginner. This is at this level over here. That's the archetype. The enthusiastic beginner, they already have the motivation to do the task. Hey, I just finished high school. I got a job. Woo, I'm pumped. All right. This lowers the need for supportive behavior, but they still lack the competence. And that increases the need for us as their managers to be more directive. Does that kind of make sense? This directive behavior we're talking about?
Yeah, no, perfectly. Now it's making more sense. Sure.
Awesome.
That
Awesome.
enthusiastic beginner was the word I was looking, because it
Lovely.
requires low support. The morale is high. The attitude is always
Yes,
go get it, but he
exactly.
just doesn't know where to go and get it. So it's okay.
Exactly. You got it. Fantastic, Prashant. Awesome. Now let's talk about S2. S2 behavior is going to be different. And in S2, what we generally find in S2 is that we, the leader, right, our leadership style has to be high directive, high supportive. And
Yeah, so I want to make sure that we differentiate leading and leadership from a role perspective, right? A title. Senior leaders, obviously we call them leaders. It doesn't necessarily mean someone that has the title of senior leadership is actually a leader. It's the behaviors and the attributes that we're looking for. If you have someone in that position and they are constantly telling people what to do or exhibiting the incorrect behaviors, we would not consider that person a leader, if that makes sense. Leadership is a behavior and a set of attributes, not necessarily a title. So when we're talking about leading a team, we want to make sure that the team has clarity. Leadership provides clarity. Leadership provides removal of impediments and roadblocks. They clear the path and make sure the team has an environment of support. They're not commanding, controlling. Commanding, controlling is management, right? That is dictating and directing a team. That is not leading a team, right? They're very different things. Sometimes both are necessary. We're not saying that command and control is never needed. We're saying that should not be your default position, right? Command and control sometimes is an appropriate thing to do if the team just is stuck and doesn't know what to do. So when we're talking about leadership, we're talking about setting vision, making sure the team knows where they're going, why they're going this direction, what support mechanism they have in place. And leading a team does not necessarily have to be someone with that title. It could be someone in the team without the title at all, just one of your peers. We start seeing natural leadership forming in a team of adults, right? Natural leadership just kind of happens. Scrum Masters are a servant leadership.
welcome back, everyone. Those of you who are watching after the fact, I'm here giving my buddy Prashant the mentoring session for the final day. I know some of you already have this book, the PMP Exam Immersion. I want to highly advise that you don't relent in your efforts on studying every step of that book because it's going to help you firm up your understanding. It's going to help you firm up your knowledge. It's going to give you confidence. It's going to help you cover the enormity of the syllabus because the syllabus is quite significant. And there are times when you may feel, what am I even doing? Have I even covered anything? The best way to do it, step by step. People, 14 tasks. Take one task every day. Process, one task a day, you'll be done in 17 days. And business, okay? So over here on the screen, I have a rather interesting view. I call it the I, the PMI, the PMI of understanding, the project manager's eye of understanding. And all this is saying is that you got to think about initiating, planning, executing is somewhere. Let me move out of the way so that you can actually see the thing. All right. Oh, this way. I don't even know which way it is. Initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Those are the 5 process groups. But it's not enough to see the project as that. You got to start off by knowing that as a developer, your PMP exam is coming up, and you need to knuckle down and get everything under control. The purpose of this lecture is to help you firm up your understanding of everything necessary for PMP exam success. We will be going through the people, process, and business domains, breaking down all the 35 tasks at a level that is sufficient for you to recall what you have studied in the past and for you to pay attention to anything that might be missing as we go through each of the 35 tasks. Through this lecture, we will also be touching on important topics surrounding the 10 knowledge areas, the 5 process groups, the world of Agile, the world of Scrum. Will take a high-level view of these components so that you will be extremely sure that you've done everything necessary. We will also go through my 36 mindset mantras for this exam. There are 12 mantras in people, 12 in process, and 12 in business. You will sit with me as though we were doing this live together, because I have a student who is going to be going through the process with me, asking questions, comparing notes, and sharing ideas. So you will feel like you're there right with me in the classroom. I encourage you to jump on this program if your exam is a few days away. I'll be sharing a lot of deep insights to help you firm up your understanding. I look forward to seeing you in the program, and all the very best on the exam.